येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले कृष्ण
श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता
स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण प्रभु
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all Vaishnavas.
हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Okay, so we'll begin reading today. Oh, Malti Mataji is here. How are you, Mataji?
I'm fine, Prabhu. How are you, Prabhu?
I'm doing good. It's quite some time since we had your
Yes.
association.
Yes, Prabhu. Year after I'll not miss, Prabhu. I will continue.
Okay. How is
Thank
Prabhuji?
you, Prabhu. Yeah, he's also fine, Prabhu.
How's your daughter?
Yeah, everyone is fine. Thank you so much.
Okay, very nice. Welcome.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so now let's look at the sloka. So we're going to read 38 or 39?
38 प्रभु
38. Okay, let's read.
Canto 10 chapter 4 verse number 38 यथा मयोंगे समुपेक्षितो नृभिर्न शक्यते रूढपदश्चिकित्सुतम् यतेन्द्रियग्राम उपेक्षितस्तथा हरिपुर sorry प्रभु यतेन्द्रियग्राम उपेक्षितस्ततारि पुर्महान् बद्धबलो न चाल्यते. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. As a disease, if initially neglected, becomes acute and impossible to cure, or as the senses, if not controlled at first, or impossible to control later. An enemy, if neglected in the beginning, later becomes insurmountable. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. 439.
Hare Krishna.
We talked about this, right? Anything that is neglected.
Yeah.
Okay. So 39, yes.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 4, Text 39. Moolam hi Vishnur Devana Yatra Dharma Sanatanaha Tasya cha Brahma go Vipras Tato Yagnaha sa Dakshinaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Tapo Yagna, not Tata Yagna. Tapo Yagna.
Tapo Yagna sa Dakshinaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The foundation of all demigods is Lord Vishnu, who lives and is worshipped wherever there are religious principles, traditional culture, the Vedas, cows, Brahmanas, austerities, and sacrifices with proper remuneration. Purport. Here is the description of Sanatana Dharma, eternal religious principles, which must include Brahminical culture, Brahmanas, sacrifice, and religion. These principles establish the kingdom of Vishnu. Without the kingdom of Vishnu, the kingdom of God, no one can be happy. Na te vidu swatha gatim hi Vishnu. In this demonic civilization, people unfortunately do not understand the self-interest of human society lies in Vishnu. Durasasya ye bahir artha maninaha. Thus they are involved in a hopeless hope. People want to be happy without God consciousness.
Or Krishna consciousness.
Human society to care.
No, Krishna
They are
consciousness.
led by blind leaders who lead human society to chaos. The Asuric adherents of
Kamsa wanted to disrupt the traditional condition of human happiness and thus defeat the Devatas, the devotees and demigods. Hare Krishna, what happened? Revol? We lost Prabhu, huh? Others are able to hear?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
No. Balaji Gaur Prabhu.
No,
No,
Prabhu.
no. He's not talking.
Okay. Okay, then I have some internet issue. So the Asuric adherents of Kamsa wanted to disturb the traditional conditions of human happiness and thus defeat the Devatas. Okay, that's the Asura mentality. And the devotees and demigods. Unless the devotee and demigods predominate, the Asura will increase. The human society will in chaotic condition. Chaotic condition. Okay, so let's read. Let's see. So what is this? Anyone can throw light on this? What is this particular purport Prabhupada is talking about here? Why is saying foundation of all demigods is Lord Vishnu?
Demigods receive instructions from Vishnu.
Demigods receive instruction from Vishnu. So this Vishnu is not the Mahavishnu. This is the Purusha avatar Vishnu. The Trigunya avatar.
That is Tirodaka cycle.
Correct. See, the entire Purusha avatar is impersonal, or is a Paramatma state. Entire Purusha avatar is Paramatma state. So they are the 400 form of Vishnu. Whether it is Garbhodakshaya or Karanodakshaya or Kshirodakshaya, all are the Paramatma expansion of the Lord. Narayana is the Vigraha expansion, the Bhagavan expansion, but these Vishnus are all Paramatma expansions. Okay, so all these demigods, they report to Vishnu. Okay, then what else? People, unfortunately. What does this statement mean? But all of you are silent. You should pounce on to answer. What is this highlight? Who can answer this? Everyone? We'll call out people. No one wants to answer.
Prabhu, our eternal dharma is to meditate on Lord Vishnu because we have been disconnected from him and not go for sense gratification. That's what I understood, Prabhu.
Yeah. So the self-interest of humans lies in Vishnu. If they're not, they're in a hopeless condition. Are you getting the point?
Yes, Prabhu.
People want to be happy without God consciousness, but that is not true. We have seen many, many examples. We saw even Krishna preaching to Arjuna. What did he say? Hey, yeah, you can do all dhyan, gin, everything, karma, nishkama karma, everything you can do. But when Krishna is not there, included, you will never see happiness. You will immediately fall down. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
That's important. So let's go back a little bit. History. Okay? Canto 1, Srimad Bhagavatam. The first 3 chapters of Canto 1. What is it connected to? Just a second. Hare Krishna, sorry. See, the first 3 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam is dealing with the questions
Yes.
asked by
Sages.
sages of Naimisharanya to Sutta Goswami. How many questions they asked? 6 questions they asked. And the first 3 chapters, Sutta Goswami is giving an introduction. Okay. He's answering those 6 questions. What does it mean? Then after that, from the 4th chapter onwards, the sages are asking further questions. They're asking 3 questions. What are the 3 questions they're asking? They're asking, why did the Lord chose Parikshit Maharaj to play the role of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? Who is this Parikshit Maharaj? And how, he renounced his kingdom. Then they're also asking, what is the role of Sukadeva Goswami? Who is Sukadeva Goswami? Why they were asking the role of Sukadeva Goswami? Because Sukadeva Goswami is an Avadut. As an Avadut, he will not associate with any Grihasthas. So it is said that Sukadeva Goswami, when he comes to asking for Bhiksha from a family of Grihastha or a Vaishya, whoever it may be, how much time he will wait for you to offer him?
You won't wait. Even the milking of the cow, they say.
Yeah, milking of the cow. That's all. If you take, how much time will it take to milk the cow? Very short time. Only that much time he will stay. He will go away. So now they are telling him that such a person who does not have time, how is that he sat for 7 days and gave Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit? Now, these 2 questions have an interconnection to the third question about Vyasadeva. Who is Vyasadeva and how did he compose all these things? So, Vyasadeva, who is born to, he is born to the son of Parasara Muni and Satyavati. So he's born to them. Now, after Vyasa was born, what is the problem of Vyasa? He saw that people are in hopeless state. People are forgetting Vishnu. They're just going mad after material opulence, enjoyment, and forgetting Vishnu. They are doing many activities without doubting Vishnu. So this is what he saw. Then he envisioned Kali Yuga, how people will be very unhappy, how people will have demonic civilization and increase the burden of Mother Earth. Then he said, okay, he increased his compassion so much that what he did, he said, this Vedas people are not able to understand, so I will write in a simpler format. So there were only one Veda. So he took that one Veda, which was spoken by Brahmaji. And Brahmaji, when he spoke one Veda in totality from all his foreheads. Then Vyasa took that full content and divided based on subject and topics. So what he did, he had 4 disciples. Who are the 4 disciples of Vyasa? One is Paila Rishi, Jaimini Rishi, Vaishampayana Rishi, then Samantu. One Rishi is there. So what he did, he said, okay, this Vedas has to be broken down so that people can understand in a simple format. So to Paila Rishi, he said, okay, you take Rig Veda, one portion of the Rig Veda, all these subject topics, you compile Rig Veda. Then Samaveda was given to Jaimini. Then Vaishampayana, he gave Yajur. And the last disciple he gave Atharvana Veda. So he gave these 4 Vedas to them, then said, please compile. So they wrote in a simplified format, the Vedas. And what did Vyasa do for himself? He wrote all the Upanishads. He wrote all the Itihasas, all the Puranas. He compiled the great Mahabharata. Everything he compiled. But you see, even though he is sound incarnation or literal incarnation of the Lord, even though he is always, in the status of bhakti, but moment he did not position Krishna as the topmost importance in his literatures, in all his compositions, he found no happiness in him. He found emptiness in his heart. He was despondent. Bhagavatam says he was despondent. So you see, such a great personality, when he did not glorify, instead of glorifying Krishna, what he was doing? He was always positioning the dharma, artha, kama, and moksha in all his literature. That was his focus. He did not speak of bhakti yoga to Krishna as the ultimate solution in an absolute manner. So that caused unhappiness in his heart. That caused disturbance so heavy in his heart that he felt an emptiness. Something is missing. I'm not satisfied. So now you see, when such a personality can go into hopeless state, when Vishnu is not added in his life, imagine us. Imagine anyone in the society. That's what Prabhupada writes. Hopeless state. He says, how can people be happy without God consciousness? They're just following unwanted materialistic leaders who will go to hell. And they'll also take all these people who are following them to hell. This will be commotion in the society. But when that same Vyasdeva, he did not realize by himself, oh, I did mistake of, I focused only on dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but I have to focus on glorifying the Lord, Bhagavan, and his devotees. And that should be the focus of Bhakti Yoga. He did not realize. And then to realize what happened, he got the mercy. Mercy came through his spiritual master, Naradaji. And when Naradaji also explained, Vyasa was convinced but not convinced enough. 1 second. Oh, Bhagavatam class ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು phone ಮಾಡಲಾ? Oh, thank you. So, what was I telling?
About Vyasadeva, why he was unhappy.
So when he asked Nardamuni said, hey, this is the problem. You're not glorifying Krishna enough. You're writing all other literatures. But where is the focus of Krishna? Where is he in the center? When he was educated, he was convinced, but not convinced enough. So that is when Nardamuni speaks about his own life. How he was the servant maid, the son of a servant maid. And when great Vaishnavas came to their place and performed yajna, and by the arrangement of divine or whatever you want to call it as, his mother got service to serve those great devotees. You can call it as Ajnata Sukriti or arrangement of the Lord. Well, she served. When she served, all those rishis were very happy. That is what is important. When a great devotee of the Lord is happy by our activities or our service or our devotion, that happiness in their heart will result in blessings of the Lord on us directly. So what happened to Narada Muni? He just got an opportunity to eat the remnants of those offerings and what they consumed. And what is the result? He became completely spiritualized. completely spiritualized, not just an educated person. He became fully spiritualized and he entered the kingdom of God. So when he gave this example to Vyasadeva realized two important things. One, Bhagavan and Bhagavan's devotees. So when these two are properly glorified and their position is established, which results in proper bhakti yoga process and etc., then what happens? This world will become Vaikuntha. Will no more be those chaotic society. So this is the medicine. Our ancestors, our acharyas are showing the way. This is the medicine. Take. Read the life history of Prabhupada, Leelamrita. How many times Prabhupada failed, and every failure, Prabhupada increased his surrender to Krishna. He did not say, oh, Krishna, it's too much of failures with you, boss. I can't do all these things. You figure out someone and then get all these things done. I am leaving. Prabhupada never said. The amount of faith on the holy name was so phenomenal. Now, Prabhupada not only had faith, but he gave the faith to others also. So this is important. This society is lacking this. And we have to give this to the society in a direct, indirect format. No problem. So, do you all agree? Do you all feel that we have a role to play here?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm hearing two voices. Okay, good. I'm assuming others are also on similar
Yes,
thought.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So did we understood the purport very detailedly? How self-interest causes dramatic, drastic results, hopeless results, and how connecting with Vishnu gives us wonderful results.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So let's do 440.
Hare Krishna. Text 40. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan brahmanan brahmavadinaha tapasvino yagnashilan gaschahan mohavirdugaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O King, we who are your adherents in all respects shall therefore kill the Vedic Brahmanas, the persons engaged in offering sacrifices and austerities, and the cows that supply milk from which clarified butter is obtained for the ingredients of sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So what's the understanding here? What do you think the demons are concluding?
They
What?
want to completely eradicate the divine nature.
No, that's not their understanding. What are their understanding about position of Vishnu? Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, they understand that Vishnu is the supreme God. That they have understood.
No. They are not understanding that.
Prabhu, if they kill the Brahmanas and these cows, progress is not possible in spirituality, no, Prabhu.
No, the Vishnu will become weak.
That's the key. They are thinking the yajna, austerity, oblations in the fire, the cows, all these things are the ones that are giving strength to Vishnu.
That's what Hiranyakashipu does now.
Correct. So now what they are advising, Kamsa, you take away all these things, Vishnu will become weaker. You kill him. So that means, you see, how Maya will take away the intelligence and make us to think in the wrong man. So you can understand? That is the point here. Okay, 41. 41.
Hare Krishna, text 4.41. Vipragavashcha vedascha tapaksatyam damah shamaha shraddha daya tijikshascha kratavascha aretanuhu. Translation and purport. Translation. the Brahmanas, the cows, Vedic knowledge, austerity, truthfulness, control of the mind and senses, faith, mercy, tolerance, and sacrifice are the different parts of the body of Lord Vishnu, and they are the paraphernalia for a godly civilization. Purport. When we offer our obeisances to the personality of Godhead, we say, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanahitaya cha, Jagaditaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. When Krishna comes to establish the real perfection in the social order, he personally gives protection to the cows and the Brahmanas, Go Brahmanahitaya cha. This is his first interest because without protection of the Brahmanas and the cows, there can be no human civilization and no question of happy, peaceful life. Asuras, therefore, are always interested in killing the Brahmanas and cows. Especially in this age, Kali Yuga, cows are being killed all over the world. And as soon as there is a movement to establish Brahminical civilization, people in general rebel. Thus, they regard the Krishna conscious movement as a form of brainwashing. How can such envious persons be happy in their godless civilization? So the Supreme Personality of Godhead punishes them by keeping them in darkness, birth after birth, and punishing them lower and lower into
Pushing
wretched
them.
conditions of hellish life. The Krishna conscious movement has started a Brahminical civilization, but especially when it is introduced in the Western countries, the Asuras try to impede it in many ways. Nonetheless, we must push forward this movement tolerantly for the benefit of human society. Hare Krishna.
The benefit of human society. Okay. So what do you think are the key learnings from this?
Prabhu, whatever that, austerity, truthfulness, control of mind and senses, faith, mercy, these are all the essential elements of knowledge, Prabhu. Those who doesn't have this, they are all called as ignorant. So that's what his Lord is establishing. And here, all these elements are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. So they are the paraphernalia of godly civilization. Godly civilization is nothing but one who has got this knowledge. Obviously, he will become the devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that is what is. So unless we protect the Brahmanas and cows, so we cannot establish our Sanatana Dharma also. And that is what is mentioned here. So, and the conclusion, Srila Prabhupada is telling that the purpose of establishing this ISKCON movement is to establish this Brahminical civilization, and we are all part of this movement, and we are the benefited Lord in this movement.
Okay, good. Anyone wants to add anything to what Prabhuji said? Okay, so then let's read the next sloka, 42.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 42. Sahi sarva suradhyaksho ya asurad dvida guha shayaha tanmula devata sarvaha sheshvara sa chaturmukhaha ayam vaitad vadhopayo yadrishinam vihimshanam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri. Translation. Lord Vishnu, the super soul within the core of everyone's heart, is the ultimate enemy of the Asuras and is therefore known as Asura Dvit. He is the leader of all the demigods because all the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, exist under his protection. The great saintly persons, sages, and Vaishnavas also depend upon him. To persecute the Vaishnavas, therefore, is the only way to kill Vishnu. Purport. The demigods and the Vaishnavas especially are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord Vishnu because they are always obedient to his orders. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayaha. The demonic followers of Kamsa thought that if the Vaishnavas, saintly persons and sages were persecuted, the original body of Vishnu would naturally be destroyed. Thus, they decided to suppress Vaishnavism. The Asuras perpetually struggle to persecute the Vaishnavas because they do not want Vaishnavism to spread. Vaishnavas preach only devotional service, not encouraging karmis, gyanis, and yogis, because if one must liberate oneself from material conditional life, one must ultimately become a Vaishnava. Our Krishna consciousness movement is directed with this understanding, and therefore the Asuras always try to suppress it. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I understood why there are so many people opposing Vaishnava.
So their understanding is completely ulta, no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, any pointers you want to add, Mataji?
Prabhu, purport is very clear.
Okay, others? Okay, let's read 43. 43.
43 Sri Sukha Uvacha Evam Durmantrubihi Kamsa Saha Sammanyutrut Durmatihi Brahma Himsam Hitam Mene Kala Pashavruto Asuraha. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami continued, thus having considered the instructions of his bad ministers, Kamsas, who has bound by the laws of Yamaraja and devoid of good intelligence because he was a demon, decided to prosecute the saintly persons, the Brahmanas, as the only way to achieve his own good fortune. Purport. Srila Lokanadasa Thakura has sung
Lochan Das Thakur.
Dascha Thakura has sung Apana Karma Bunjaya Samana Kahaya Lochana Dasa. Instead of talking good instruction from the sages and the Shastras, godless non-devotees act whimsically according to their own plans. Actually, however, no one has own plans because everyone is bound by the laws of nature and must act according to his tendency in material, conditional life. Therefore, one must change one's own decision and follow the decision of Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Then one is rescued from punishment by Yamaraja. Kamsa was not uneducated. It appears from his talks with Vasudeva and Devaki that he knew all about the laws of nature. But because of his association with bad ministers, he could not make a clear decision about his welfare. Therefore, the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.54 says, Sadhu Sangha Sadhu
Sangha Sarva Shastre Kaya
Kaya
Mamatra Sadhu
Matra Sadhu Sangye
Siddhi.
Sarva Siddhi Haya. If one desires his real welfare, he must associate with devotees and saintly persons, and in this way rectify the material condition of his life. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so what is this purport here? What's the learning from this purport?
It's the association, Prabhu. Kamsa had association of bad ministers, which has influence.
Okay, good point. So the society we live, the association we have, whom we connect and do our activities is very important. We have wrong association, long life, wrong path of life. And that's going to be very, very dangerous. Okay, good point. Then? Then what else? Please answer.
One key point here is, Prabhu, we all think that we are the Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I, Prabhu? So we all think that we are the good master planners, and we have all the knowledge to plan our future and our life and all these things. nothing is going to work. Everything is bound by the laws of nature. So, and it has to act according to the tendency of the material nature, which is again dictated by the Supreme Lord Krishna. So we forget that, and we unnecessarily take the pride of ourselves, and we say that we are independent and we can take all this and everything. All the success are because of my plan and my master plan. So that's what is Lord has explicitly told here.
Yeah,
Therefore,
so
one
that
has
means
to-
no one has a clear idea what is when one's welfare,
Yes, Prabhu.
right? See, I'll give you one realization that I had. In a very recent times, one of our family member had some health issues. Okay, a little bit serious health issue he had. Then what happened? Our uncles they called from USA. So they're calling this cousin of mine, and then they're crying. For what they're crying? They're crying that, oh, your husband or you are suffering from such a health condition. We'll pray, we'll cry. So they cried for it. Okay. So now I got this news. Then I said, I also want to cry. Okay. So my cousin's wife asked me, why you want to cry? I said, I want to cry because this uncle of ours who called and cried that, he got health. I want to cry for this uncle that even after having so much opulence and so much of exposure and things like that, the association in his life is such that he'll become hellish in the next birth. So I want to cry for him, I told. My cousin's wife, she was bewildered for a minute and just looking at me. What are you telling? Yeah, this is what Bhagavatam says. So I want to cry for my uncle who's actually crying for your husband. So you see, okay. So it is sadhu sangha. Lavamatra sadhu sangha. So what is lavamatra sadhu sangha?
The fraction of a second.
Moment's association with
Moment
the sadhu.
association will change our life. But when we see sadhu and then run away, even that lavamatra sadhu sangha is not going to happen. Okay, 44. Let's finish this chapter now.
44. Sandisya sadhu lokakshaya kadane kadanaha priyahan kama rupa dharan dikshu dhanvan graham di avishat. Translation: these demons, the followers of Kamsa, were expert at prosecuting others, especially the Vaishnavas, and could assume any form they desired. After giving these demons permission to go everywhere and prosecute the saintly persons, Kamsa entered his place. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So actually what happened, Kamsa connected with, he called for all the demons who have different forms, different powers, different methods of killing their opponents and things like that. And Kamsa is like the head of them. So he called them and said, he gave instruction. Okay, so now you go kill this boy and give me the good news. Right? So one after the other, the demons, they went to kill Krishna and they got killed. In fact, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, one of his lecturers, was telling that how many demons that they came to kill Krishna? It's so many actually. Between his morning time and evening time, so many demons would have got killed. In the morning, one demon will come, Krishna will kill, and then he'll have breakfast. Then lunch, he will kill a demon, he'll have lunch. Then evening, he'll have something, then he would have killed a demon, then had something. He also says, even in between, while Krishna was playing, while he was doing other activities, demons used to come, and they were all chota demons. Krishna used just vanquished them. They were so chota that it didn't even come into discussion more. Right? So like that, so many demons were sent by Kamsa. So he gave the instruction, And he's thinking, okay, these demons can change form, they can change their, their attitude, they can change the environment, whatever it may be, they'll kill. So I'm very peaceful. Okay, 45.
Hare Krishna text 4.45. Devairaja prakratyastam samooda chetasah satam vidvesham achrerur aradagata mrityavaha. Translation: surcharged with passion and ignorance, and not knowing what was good or bad for them. The asuras, for whom impending death was waiting, began the persecution of the saintly person. Purport. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 2.13, Dehinosmin yada dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantra prapti rtirastattra muhyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Irresponsible persons, surcharged with passion and ignorance, foolishly do things that are not to be done. Nunam pramatah kurute
Vikrama.
Pramatah kurute vikrama.
Kurute is to do. What is it doing? Vikrama. Vikrama is what?
Vikarma.
Prohibited.
Vikarma.
Okay. But one should know the results of irresponsible actions, as explained in the next verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, 46.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 446. Ayu Shriyam Yasho Dharmam Lokan Asisa Evacha Hanti Shreyamsi Sarvani Pumso Mahad Atikramaha. Translation. My dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity, beauty, fame, religion, blessings, and promotion to higher planets will be destroyed. Thus end the pardon, Prabhu?
Nothing.
Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 10th canto, 4th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Atrocities of King Kamsa. Hare Krishna.
Look at it. My dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity, Aishman Bhava, someone 100 people are blessed. Beauty, fame, religion, blessings, promotion, everything is gone. Yeah. So what benefit someone gets to lose so much? It's not worth it. Just to satisfy our ego. Okay. So any questions and thoughts on the previous chapter? Atrocities of Kamsa. Are there enough Kamsas here today in this world?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, we are ourselves Kamsa, Prabhu.
Okay.
We don't want to associate.
So now look at the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. By his mercy, we are all at least transformed to some extent, that we are able to lead a higher purity life. Otherwise, imagine our case, we will also be like this. Ignorant completely. Very offensive.
Prabhu, after coming to KC, we have become so much cleaner, like we ourselves are feeling that feeling, no, Prabhu, that I'm better than before. Before means something would pop out from our mouth, but now I'm trying to hold it with my tongue.
Hari. You are
Not
now
pop up also. Pop into the mouth also.
Mataji is talking like Gaurang Mahaprabhu. No? Okay. So now let's read the chapter 5. The meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. So any guess? What is this meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva? Any guess what is this chapter about?
Actually, Vasudeva is, Nanda Maharaja is going to pay the tax or something, Prabhu. That time he happens to meet Vasudeva in between. And so Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva is trying to tell that something will happen. That means some demon is going to come and kill Krishna. So be careful. Something like that, Prabhu.
Some danger is going to happen. Don't wait. Go quickly, he says.
Okay. So Vasudeva knew the truth now that Krishna is living in the house of Nanda Maharaj as his son. Right? At this point in time, I don't know, Nanda Maharaj did not know about Vasudeva being the actual father. So now Vasudeva is now protecting Krishna by telling Vasudeva, hey Vasudeva, don't be in Gokul. This Mathura is not a good place. Go away, move away from Gokul, go to a different vana, go to Vrindavana. Right? So Nanda Maharaj moves. Right? But of course, there's also the other reason that he sees, there are many demons that I am noticing here in Gokul. Which is the first demon that came in Gokul?
Putana.
So Putana came, saw all this, it's very dangerous. So let me go to a different place. And they shift. Right. Okay, so someone can read the paragraph, chapter 5, the meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. Can someone read?
Hare Krishna, I will read it. Chapter 5, the meeting of Nanda Maharaja and Vasudeva. As described in this chapter, Nanda Maharaja very gorgeously performed the birth ceremony for his newborn child. Then he went to Kamsa to pay taxes due and met his intimate friend Vasudeva. There was great jubilation all over Vrindavana due to Krishna's birth. Everyone was overwhelmed with joy. Therefore, the king of Braja, Maharaja Nanda, wanted to perform the birth ceremony for his child. And this he did. During this great festival, Nanda Maharaja gave in charity to all present whatever they desired. After the festival, Nanda Maharaja put the cowherd men in charge of protecting Gokula, and then he went to Madura to pay official taxes to Kamsa. In Madura, Nanda Maharaja met Vasudeva. Nanda Maharaja and Vasudeva were brothers, and Vasudeva praised Nanda Maharaja's good fortune because he knew that Krishna had accepted Nanda Maharaja as his father. When Vasudeva inquired from Nanda Maharaja about the welfare of the child, Nanda Maharaja informed him all about Vrindavana, and Vasudeva was very much satisfied by this, although he expressed his grief because Devaki's many children had been killed by Kamsa. Nanda Maharaja consoled Vasudeva by saying that everything happens according to destiny and that one who knows this is not aggrieved. Accepting many disturbances in Gokula, Vasudeva then advised Nanda Maharaja not to wait in Madura but to return to Vrindavana as soon as possible. Thus, Nanda Maharaja took leave of Vasudeva and returned to Vrindavana with the other cowherd men on their bullock carts. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay. So here, what is Vrindavana? Why is saying Vrindavan? What is he referring to Vrindavan? At this point in time, where is Krishna now?
In Gokula.
Gokula. Then why is he saying Vrindavan?
Maybe he wants them to go to Vrindavan.
Vrindavan, he wants him to go, but that's later on. But what does Vrindavan refer to here? Vrindavan is a generic name now.
Okay.
Generic name for all the 12 vanas. Okay, so that's what is the meaning here. Okay, but he's not actually going to Vrindavana, which is a specific place, but he's going to go to Gokula. Okay, 5.1, 2. You can read. All are done. Anyone pending to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, read please.
Shri Sukha Uvacha Nandasva Atmaja Utpanne Jataho Lado Mahamanaha Ayu Vipran Veda Jnan Snataha Suchir अलङ्कृतः
सुचे अलङ्कृत वाचायित्वा सस्वतै.
Now read, Prabhu. Vachayitva swasthayanam jatakarmatmajasya vai. What are you reading?
Yeah, Prabhu. वाचायित्वा स्वस्त्यायानां जाता कर्मात् मजस्य वै कार्यम् अश विधिवत् कार्यम् आश विधिवत् पितृदेवार्चनं ततः. Translation: Sukadeva Goswami said, Nanda Maharaja was naturally very magnanimous, and when Lord Sri Krishna appeared as his son, he was overwhelmed by jubilation. Therefore, after bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited Brahmanas who knew how to recite Vedic mantras. After having this qualified Brahminic recite auspicious Vedic hymns, he arranged to have the Vedic birth ceremony celebrated for his newborn child according to the rules and regulations. And he also arranged for worship of the demigods and forefathers.
Worship of demigod forefathers. Okay, perfect.
Sri Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura has discussed the significance of the words Nandastu. The word tu, he says, is not used to fulfill the sentence because without tu, the sentence is complete. Therefore, the word tu is used for a different purpose. Although Krishna appeared as the son of Devaki, Devaki and Vasudeva did not enjoy the Jatakarma, the festival of the birth ceremony. Instead, this ceremony was enjoyed by Nanda Maharaj as stated here, Nandastva Atmaja Utpanne Jataha Lado Ma Manaha. When Nanda Maharaja met Vasudeva, Vasudeva could not disclose, your son Krishna is actually my son. You are his father in a different way, spiritually. Because of fear of Kamsa, Vasudeva could not observe the festival of Krishna's birth. Nanda Maharaj, however, took full advantage of this opportunity. The Jatakarma ceremony can take place when the umbilical cord connecting the child and the placenta is cut. However, since Krishna was brought by Vasudeva to the house of Nanda Maharaja, where was the chance for this to happen? In this regard, Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura desires to prove with evidence from many Shastras that Krishna actually took birth as the son of Yashoda before the birth of Yogamaya, who is therefore described as the Lord's younger sister. Even though there may be doubts about the cutting of umbilical cord, and even though it is possible that this was not done, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, such events are regarded as factual. Krishna appeared
as factual means? What is the meaning of events regarded as factual means?
The event has happened.
It is one among the many events. Okay.
Krishna appeared as Varahadeva from the nostril of Brahma, and therefore Brahma is described as the father of Varahadeva. Also significant are the words Karyam Asha Vidhivat. Being overwhelmed with jubilation over the birth of his son, Nanda Maharaja did not see whether the cord was cut or not. Thus, he performed the ceremony very gorgeously. According to the opinion of some authorities, Krishna was actually born as the son of Yashoda. In any case, without regard for material understandings, we can accept that Nanda Maharaj's celebration for the ceremony of Krishna's birth was proper. This ceremony is therefore well known everywhere as Nandotsava.
Okay, so now what is the difference between Nandotsava and Janmashtami?
Janmashtami is when Krishna was just born. Nandotsava is
actual birth time.
Yes.
Right? Okay, what is Nandotsava?
Is that the next day when Krishna, they celebrate in Nanda Maharaj's house. They put bridal and all things.
Yeah, so the cutting of the umbilical cord and all these things like son is born. Correct? So that is Nandotsava. Okay. So in our practice also what do we do? If we celebrate Janmashtami on the day, the actual day when Krishna is born, yes, it is Krishna Janmashtami. If we do 1 day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, then it's called Nandotsava. It is celebrating the appearance of the Lord. Okay, so then what are the key points to learn out of this? This purport. Revolve, quick, we should not waste time.
Samskaras must be performed.
Prabhu?
The samskaras must be performed. The important samskaras.
Okay, then any other pointers?
Though Devaki had given birth to Lord Krishna, they did not enjoy this ceremony, but it was someone else, that is Nanda Baba, who enjoyed this ceremony.
Okay, so why? Why would the Lord do such an arrangement? Because
Even-
Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda are eternally parents of Krishna.
Okay.
Even in the Goloka. Eternally. No, Prabhupada says, no one can take the position of Yashoda. She is eternally the mother of Krishna. Yeah. So that is.
Krishna Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, as I understand, his Supreme Lord Krishna's appearance is not in the natural process of through the womb. So therefore, cutting off umbilical cord might not have arisen.
That is from a Devaki point of view. Okay, but here the author is trying to justify the celebration of Nandotsav by giving this reason. Okay, so that story is over. That happened in Devaki's womb and in the jail. So that we are not talking about. Now we are talking about celebration of Nandotsav. Why? Under what conditions?
Prabhu, and also the mood of Devaki and Vasudeva was that of awe and reverence for Krishna, no?
Awe and reverence for Krishna. So which means when Krishna was born to Devaki and Vasudeva, the Krishnastha Bhagavan Swayam, that Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna was not born to them. The only awe and reverence, that is Vasudeva, was born. Okay. So now Vishnu Chakracharya is also telling that in reality Krishna was born to Yashoda. That means Gokula Krishna was born in Gokul to Yashoda. The real Bhagavan Krishna was born in Gokul to the womb of Yashoda Mai. There's no doubt. So that means the Krishna which was born to Vasudeva and Devaki is more like Vasudeva, which is like Vishnu or Narayana or whatever it may be. And that is now, merging into the original form of the Lord. When the Lord completed his pastimes, what happened? He continues to plan on his eternal pastimes. Then this Vasudeva Krishna, who is more karmic in mood, compared to Gokula Krishna, he starts to move to reinstate Dharma Sthapanam. Yeah, he's reinstate Dharma. So that's what he's doing. Yeah.
Prabhu, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, once I think the book it given, Krishna book, they are Vasul, one of the Vasus, and they also pray that for Krishna to be born as their, they wanted to.
So that is just an arrangement from a pastime perspective. But Prabhupada clearly clarifies. In Goloka Vrindavan, Yashoda takes the eternal position of mother of Krishna. And there's no doubt about it.
Okay.
So this is all just to enact the pastime. Those conversations come out. Okay. Okay, next sloka. Let's read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 3. Dhenu nam niyute pradat viprebhyah samalankrute tilatin sapta ratnogha shatako
Shata means the dot should be there. Is dot there? Sata.
Satakombambaravrutan. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Nanda Maharaja gave 2 million cows completely decorated with cloth and jewels in charity to the Brahmanas. He also gave them 7 hills of grain covered with jewels and with cloth decorated with golden embroidery.
So now Nanda Maharaj is setting the standards as per Veda Shastra. How are you going to celebrate your birth ceremony of your child. So this is what's supposed to be done, even for us. But today, economic conditions, many issues, all these things, people have modernized and fashioned this whole purpose. But actually, this is how you celebrate you have to call the Brahmanas. You have to give donations. And you have to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead on the birth of your child. That's very, very important to do. And birth, there are 3-4 samskaras out of many samskaras, very, very important. One is the birth of the child. Then other is the formation of the child in the womb of the mother, the Pumsavana ceremony. That is an important samskara. Then the marriage samskara, the Kanyadana samskara is important samskara. Then Graha Pravesha is a very, very important samskara. Right? Because it's a place where you will live and perform worship of Lord Vishnu. Right? So like that, there are a few samskaras that are very, very important. And one has to, under the samskara, the Shraddha, right? So one has to perform these samskaras under any conditions. So very important to know these things. Other samskaras which are minor, for example, child goes to school, child, becomes adulthood where Upanayanam happens, something, all those things are okay. But this forms the most important. Okay, so 5.4.
5.4 Kalena snana sauchabhyam samskarais tapasvijaya shuddyanti dhanai santushtya dravyani atmatma vidyaya. Translation. O king, by passing of time, land and other material possession are purified. By bathing, the body is purified, and by cleansed, unclean things are purified. By purificatory ceremonies, birth is purified. By austerity, the senses are purified. By worship and charity offered to Brahmanas, material possessions are purified. By satisfaction, the mind is purified. And by self-realization, Krishna conscious, the soul is purified.
Hari, what a sloka. Yes,
these are Shastric injunctions concerning how one can purify everything according to Vedic civilization. Unless purified, anything we will use infect us with contamination. In India, 5,000 years ago, even in a village such as Nanda Maharaj, people know how to purify things. And thus they enjoyed even material life without contamination. Hare Krishna.
Hari. What a sloka. Let's try to remember the sloka. Kalena snana sauchabhyam.
Kalena snana sauchabhyam.
Kalena snana sauchabhyam.
Kalena snana sauchabhyam.
Samskarais tapasyejaya. Samskarais tapasyejaya.
Samskarais tapasyejaya.
Samskarais tapasyejaya.
Samskarais tapasyejaya.
Shuddhanti dhanai santusta.
Shuddhanti dhanai santushtya.
Shuddhanti dhanai santustya.
Shuddhanti dhanai santushtya.
Dravyani atmatma vidyaya.
Dravyani atmatma vidyaya.
Others, why are not all repeating? Kalena sauchabhyam.
Kalena snana sauchabhyam.
Samskarais tapasyejaya.
Samskarais tapasejaya.
Shuddhanti dhanai santustya.
Shuddhanti dhanai santushtya.
Dravyani atmatma vidyaya.
Dravyani atmatma vidyaya.
Yeah, see, this sloka is purificatory sloka. Right, very brilliantly Prabhupada writes. Okay, so 5.5, one sloka will do, last for the day. Who's going to read? Or got your turn? Once read.
Saumangalya giro vipra sutamagada vanditaha.
Vandinaha.
Sutamagada vandinaha Gayakascha Jagurne Durberyo Dundubayo Moho. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Brahmanas recited auspicious Vedic hymns, which purified the environment by their vibration. The experts in reciting old histories like the Puranas, the experts in reciting the histories of royal families, and general reciters all chanted while singers sang, and many kinds of musical instruments like beris and dundubis played in accompaniment. Hare Krishna.
So it is not about just reciting. It's very musical with a lot of tumultuous sounds and all these things that we recite this mantra. Right? When we recite all these things, it pleases Lord Hari. That is the most important thing. So hence you see how our Vedic life has been and how our today's life is. I mean, today's life is dry, meaningless here. They do the same thing, going to a restaurant, same, going to movies, same, going out, same. But still, they're running after it. They're still thinking some juice is left in it. Okay. So, what enriched process and methods our Veda Shastra and our ancient history teaches us. But we're just leaving that and then going after material life and inviting difficulty and suffering for ourselves. So, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Pancha Kalpataru Vacha Bhaktanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Tat Sat.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dalal Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam Prabhu. Thank you Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dalal Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.